When I was doing implementation, it was like 10% teaching people how to use HubSpot, and then 90% being a therapist of, listen, you need to come to the realization, okay, this is an innovation. You need to make content. You need to make content. I know that's like a really hard truth for you to come to, but God damn it, dude. God damn it. You can't just send a newsletter, okay? Like you need to make content. And that was 90% of that job. It's just like getting people on board with the reality that you need to actually do work to do this, right? And
too
so
real right now.
it was tough for me. It was because it was like, then, the AI stuff came around and all of a sudden we started seeing blog posts appear out of thin air. And the curmudgeon in me was like, these people are going to get away with not creating content. That's like, they're going to get away with just being able to, oh, here's the button to press it. And here's the blog. Oh, good. I got content, even though I don't know what it says. I'm just going to trust it because I'm too lazy not to make any. And like, originally that really started to piss me off. But then Content Hub came around and then Remix came around. And I thought that was actually one of the first times that HubSpot actually made a tool that assisted and made content creation easier, not because you could generate the stuff out of thin air, but because for the first time ever, HubSpot got it to a place where it's, listen, you know what? If you're not comfortable creating content in a certain format, now you can create content in the format that you're comfortable in, so it's less of a barrier, and then generate that other stuff from there. So for example, me, I'm not a writer. You ain't catching me writing a blog post, but you'll catch me making videos. But now all of a sudden, I can take that video, which is the format that I chose, that I know I can express myself through and create content. And all of a sudden, make my emails, make my social posts, make my blog posts, make all these other formats that other people like to consume, right? Without having to become really good at creating that content. Because originally back in the day, it's not that people didn't have good ideas for content. It's that they didn't want to sit down and write a blog post because that is hard for a lot of people and it takes a long time. They also didn't want to get in front of a video or a camera because like they're scared to do that too as well. Well, now it's you can build and you can create in the format in which you're comfortable. So that's less of a barrier of you actually creating something. And then now you can take it and you have this lever to multiply that across all these other different formats, right? And so that's what I really liked about Remix is like it felt for the very first time you were enabling people to still create stuff originally in a way that's easy for them and has a low barrier of entry, but then still creates the content, but it's based on their own original stuff versus just blog easy button. So that's...
I was in the room when they went over that, when HubSpot told all the partners about Content Hub and Remix and all that AI that was going to come in, and every single marketing agency went, what are you allowing people to do? What are you?
That's our whole gig.
What?
Time out. What?
And people used to pay us to do this?
And they can do it now. It was a thing, but actually with what it is, I think Zach hit on it, you hit on it. It gets you a bit of the way there. I think the people that help the most, and I said this to Zach while you were passionate to put the plug off there for a second, it helps the small teams. Those teams that can't afford our services, which is a thing. Again, we're not cheap. We do a great job, but not everybody can, especially those really small marketing teams. And they're struggling to put out content and beat a company that's got 150 people that can produce this so much easier. And they're struggling. Well, now with something like a Content Hub, that 40% might mean that they can actually make that business a little bit easier on themselves, get that 40% there and be able to do some edits, be able to tweak a couple things.
Yeah.
It allows them to play the game. And I think it's a really cool thing. Again, it doesn't beat what we can do. And of course, any marketing agency is going to tell you the same thing. And it's true because again, you can't beat what Zach can do with the SEO and just all this stuff. It's seriously just helping these small companies be able to have a fighting chance. And I think that is a really valuable part.
It really promotes content versatility as well, or really versatility within the company. I know like starting to sound like a HubSpot commercial, but another thing I love about
this is kind of a HubSpot commercial, let's be real.
Yes, anyway, but brand voice I think does that as well. We've even used it to where sometimes someone will want to write something for Vonazon or for a client, and then they'll give it to me to copy edit, and I'm looking at them like, this is well written, but this is not the voice of this company. This is not what they sound like. This is not consistent with what they normally come out with. So having brand voice, if you set it up the right way, there is so nice because it really does open it up to if someone doesn't enjoy writing or they don't have that talent to write and adjust their tone to a different client. They don't have to. They can just write to what's comfortable with them, you pop it in the brand voice, and then it comes out in that client's or your own tone. And that one I've been pretty impressed by as well. So I think it's really just, it promotes versatility. And yeah, for small teams, anyone on that team, like Max, you could be technically a copywriter because you're making videos that then become blogs. So it's nice in that way. And it is pretty mind blowing. It's really just about any other like AI tool to me. It's not about what it does. It's about how you use it. And if you're using it the right way, that's where you get the advantages.
100%.
That's the game.